In this house cleaning 500 video, we are going to clean the bathroom sink. You can see it here. I'm starting with a dry surface so that the cleaner gets into wherever there might be some hard water. If you put water in here first, it's going to dilute out the cleaner, so it's not going to work as well. I like to plug the sink first thing. Move a few things back here. I'm going to take this little nozzle, just kind of pour a little bit on here. Mostly I pour a lot in the bottom. Maybe you can see a bubble there really quickly, so it's getting that hard water. And just put a little bit around the edge. You don't need too much because you're going to use a rag and soak it up and wash it around in there. I did take this, here we go again, doohickey or whatever off of the sink down here. And you can probably see that it has a lot of, maybe I'll put it a little closer to the camera, maybe you can see that it has a lot of water built up. It's got some of that blue discoloration from hard water. So I'm going to take this like we did in the kitchen. This sits perfectly right in there. Pour a little bit of cleaner in there. We're going to let that sit as we clean here. As I've mentioned before, if you have sores or anything on your hands, you might want to put gloves on. I have some sores, so if you hear me start going like that, you know it's burning. Here we go. So I'm going to swirl it around. I want the cleaner to work for me, not me work for the cleaner. So I might go out of camera a little bit here as I spin it around. Make sure to hit your chrome really well. It usually cleans up chrome nice, makes it shine again, removes the hard water, any discoloration it has on it. Any kind of, maybe shaving cream or whatever else, toothpaste. I'll get a little crazy with toothpaste at times. So quickly, that went through really fast. You can just see there's a little hair in there from everyone in the house, but looks pretty clean. Lift the edge a little bit. If you have something, this is a decorative sink. You can see it there along the edge here in the front. You may need to let this cleaner sit in there, or if you're using that CLR, let it sit up against this just a little bit longer, just to get if there's any hard water stains in there. And it tends to be, I can feel them more than I can see them, so I'm just going to spread some here along the edges and let it sit there while we're going along. If you had a lot of cleaner in this, I would save it for the bathtub, but it's not too full. Turn a little water on. Be careful because you have your little doohickey off. Start letting it rinse out. Sometimes I let my sink fill all the way up and run down this emergency drain just to keep it clear. Most of the time in an older sink, those look really bad. They get nasty because it's really hard to clean in there because there's not much room when it goes down the edge. I'm going to shut that off. I don't know if that interferes with you hearing me. So I have my toothbrush holder over here. It's out of camera range, but it's stuck to the counter, so I'm going to put a little bit of that cleaner on there and just let it soak it off. You can use this cleaner on your countertops. I'm trying to think about the only thing I'd be concerned about really using this cleaner on is in some bathrooms you see marble, which I don't understand why they put marble in bathrooms and kitchens, or in entryway floors, but they do. I would be careful of this because this is a acid. It will eat the marble, but then again, any cleaner is going to eat into the marble if you don't keep it sealed. That's the thing about a marble, you got to seal it every so often. So before you make that big investment in putting it in, I would think about that it has to be sealed. Depends on how much water is running there or what's going on in your bathroom, but I would say it has to be sealed probably at least every 5 years, if not more often, because it just, once that seal wears off, it will eat into your marble. Granites, this is just a regular countertop. I forget what they're called. They call it a laminate, I think. You shouldn't worry about porcelain cleaner or any other regular bathroom cleaners for that matter. I like to stick everything into the sink. That way the porcelain cleaner will clean it up. Let's see. Yep, there comes That's my toothbrush holder off right there. I stick it all in because I give everything a good rinse. I don't generally worry too much about cleaner on it. Thing about porcelain cleaner also is if you haven't rinsed it well, you're going to feel a slight film on it. It's going to feel a little slimy, so you know you need to rinse it just a bit more to get it all cleaned off. So I'm going to start rinsing this out. If we had more time, I'd probably let it run in here, but since we don't want these videos to go on forever, I am just going to show you quickly here. I run this through on mine so it's fairly clean, but if you're starting to have a big buildup in there, you could pour porcelain cleaner directly in there and let it set in there and clean out before you rinse it out. Or just leave it in there. I don't think it's strong enough to hurt anything or eventually eat through there. So, soap's out of the bottom of this kit. So I'm going to rinse it. Rinse off this liquid soap dish. I take everything that's on the counter and rinse it off to get the dust off, the shaving cream off, whatever else, perfume sometimes, hairspray. If you use hairspray in here, it'll settle back on things. Let that drain out now. So you can see, hopefully the chrome looks pretty good. If you haven't gotten all the cleaner off of there, you'll see kind of a streak, like you've left the chemical on there, cleaner. It's not coming off well. As I said, I like to use water. I think you should rinse everything. I know there are cleaners out there, and especially in hotels and stuff, where they say spray it in and wipe it off. But eventually you're going to get a buildup on that, and you're just going to have to clean it off. It might work if you want to do your... Some people like to clean their bathroom up every day after they get done shaving or brushing their teeth or whatever, putting on makeup. Makeup can really stain things. Porcelain cleaner usually does a fair job of getting makeup out, but makeup is hard, so you might need a little bit of bleach to get it out. So it looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab a drying rag here, wipe this down. As you can see, porcelain cleaner usually cleans up chrome very well. If you think that this sink has been in here for 17, 18 years, that's pretty good looking chrome for 17 or 18 years. That's one of the reasons why I like it. So it might cost you a little bit more. You know, I haven't found porcelain cleaner to be that much more than the cleaners you get at the grocery store. I am willing at this time, if you are interested in it, to give it to you for my cost. The only thing is you would have to pay shipping. So we may look at something like doing more than one cleaner. Say you're interested in porcelain cleaner, maybe you get a couple of bottles and a couple cans of Mr. Foamy and whatever else. Or you could get it by the case. I buy it by the case. And that way it lasts me for, I don't know, probably a regular person a couple of years. Or if you want to give it as gifts, I know many people laugh about that, but I give it as gifts and people just love it. They even come back to me and go, hey, do you have any more of that cleaner? Especially Mr. Foamy. So, as we can see, everything looks pretty good here. Mostly you want to look at the chrome, as I said, it looks very good for 17 years of use. A little bit of scratching, but that's something different. Last thing, I want to come back and, I know I just dried my sink, but I wanted you to see that. Let's take this little doohickey out. May have to take my toothbrush, which I'm not going to go into big time here, which we've shown in the kitchen cleaning one. You might need to take your toothbrush and hit in here a little bit, or this is even kind of built up on there, but look, it's coming off even with my fingernail, so maybe if you can see that, I'll get a little closer. It's coming off with my fingernail, so that shows that the porcelain cleaner has soaked in there and taken it off. You can even scrub around the edge here a little bit. If it's a little hard, come in with a old knife or a razor blade, carefully with a razor blade, don't cut yourself, and just scrape that off. Give it a rinse. Like I said, you can feel a little bit of a film on your hands, so give it a good rinse. Screw it back in. And you don't have to do this thing every single time. Like, if you do it once every 6 months or something, then I would think that would be good. Set that back down. Dry it real quick for you so you can get one last look at it before we move on to the bathtub. So there you go. You can see why I like porcelain cleaner so much. Didn't take much scrubbing, and it takes longer because I'm explaining it to you. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be flying through the bathroom in no time. Get out of here, as my motto is, less time and less dime. So let's move on to the bathtub.